Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird, Miles Red Birdsong in New York City. This is Edwin Birdsong, my first husband, who transitioned from this body about a month ago. That's his daughter Robin at his funeral and Stevie Wonder at his funeral. And his plan is to even his scores because he cheated me out of fame and glory and recognition in life, and now he's trying to get me to make it all right in death so that he can go into Robin's womb and stay in our family, a family he abandoned to be friends with Stevie Wonder and be his muse and be his distraction from the fact that he's bored to death being blind. Okay, so let's begin talking about Einstein. Einstein was Eve. Einstein was Miles Red Birdsong, Miles Red Songbird. While Einstein may not have created the theory of relativity if his mom hadn't made him play the violin. This is on CNBC Make It online article. Einstein's success was in large part due to his upbringing. Both of his parents, Miles Red, fostered a rich, nurturing environment for Einstein to grow, according to Harvard Kennedy School professor Ronald Ferguson. He's an intelligent black man. Not socially adept and with a short attention span, much of Einstein's childhood development was fomented in his home. The secret to the success of highly successful people are their parents. Einstein may not have been a genius if his mom had not made him play the violin. He was not a great student. He was thought of as a weirdo. His home life made the difference. The Saint Charan Singh, Jesus Christ, first century, when asked if we have free will, answered Miles Red, "We have conditioned free will. We do not choose our parents." I once heard that public schools were invented to educate young people to be good factory workers when they grew up. I attended crappy public schools. I used to say I was educated to be a maid, M-A-I-D. Tony Robbins said, to change your life, change your story. Jesus Christ, Charan Singh said, you can definitely reform yourself. In other words, you can change your story. Or at least I can. Talk and share what I did, Einstein, what I did. Dr. Mike Murdoch, once the Apostle Paul, St. Paul, states, 21st century, your life begins when you start to believe someone. Charan Singh, the first and 20th century Jesus Christ, was who I chose to believe. He was the perfect living master, the head of the Radhaswami faith, headquartered, Miles Red, in the Baba Jamal Singh township, the Dera, in the Punjab in India. Charan Singh agreed to guide me back to my original home in the ocean of light. He initiated me, that is, he connected my soul to the sound current, the audible life stream known in the West as the collective unconscious. This practice is known as yoga of the sound current. Charan Singh, a mystic of the highest order, revealed, we are at core, at heart, light, and sound. Song line says, it's like thunder, lightning. Remember that song? Charan Singh instructed his disciples, his harem, to meditate 2.5 hours a day, 2 hours doing repetition of the 5 holy names known by Buddhists as a mantra. Buddhism was the religion that helped Tina Turner reform herself after her husband, Scorpio Ike Turner, had nearly knocked her out of life. Had knocked the wind out of her life and made her a loser. After sitting alone in the dark, repeating the 5 holy names for 2 hours, Charan Singh's disciples were instructed to listen for the sound for half an hour. This practice was guaranteed to get you back to the Father within 4 lifetimes. It did not cost any money, but it cost all of you. Charan Singh's master, his grandfather, the great master, Charan Singh's book titled My Submission, summed up the commitment necessary to rise above the world's simulation, cycles of births and deaths and new deaths continuously. The Muslim, which is hell, you can imagine. The Muslim religion, which does not lead to return you to your original home, means submission. Islam means submission. They submit to prehistoric animals' simulation, with their women being their prey, their enemy, whom they kidnap and capture and disguise and keep mostly under house arrest. Galileo, who saw in a telescope he built from the Netherlands' original model, Galileo saw that the sun was the center of the universe, the supreme star around which the other planets, extraterrestrial, which is the sun is extraterrestrial, and his daughter Eve and his son Govinda Singh. And Eve is his son as well. So S-U-N. E-T. Energy transfer. Talk and share. T for talk, S for share. Dare care. Become aware. Only fair. Mild red ordered in. Will I will feel. Albert Einstein, I sex her, he, her. I sex is to feel pleasure as her. So Einstein is a he and a her. Her decoded. Heaven, you, her. Okay? Evangeline Adams, astrologer, interpreter of the stars to the stars. Successful people are the stars. Adams, madam, mild red, songbird. Mad am. I am mad was Adam at Eve. I am mad was Eve at the world for their practice to deceive in what they say, in what they write for the masses to read, to be pleased, to be eased. The world was filled with sneaks, cheats, who fleeced the dumb, the lazy, the weaks. Decode cheats. See heaven energy, Eve at talk and share. She's not a cheat. They cheat because they say she is not heaven's energy at talk and share. Okay. That's a cheat, you see. Einstein, Evangeline, Eve's mother, noted Einstein's interest, and got materials to support them. His attention span was short. She knew the discipline of playing a musical instrument would increase it. particularly the violin at that time. At 5 years old, I had my daughter begin studying Suzuki violin with Mrs. Elvira Morgenstern, a former professional violinist with the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, who now worked at the Greenwich House School of Music in Greenwich Village, Manhattan, New York. I also had Melanie Lynn Spear, my daughter, start studying Suzuki violin at 2 years old. She had a cardboard violin to begin with. Then, at 9 years old, Robin's brothers sing Birdsong at the suggestion of their mostly absent father, Edwin Birdsong, to their mother, the Michelle Birdsong, once Queen of France, Marie Antoinette, the misunderstood monarch who was beheaded by the guillotine operator, who is now the Michelle Birdsong, Einstein Evangeline Marie Antoinette's husband of 37 years, 21st century, Michael John Spear. During the time of the French Revolution, when there was food shortages, young Marie Antoinette wanted the people lined up for meals, wanted the people to have sweets, not just meats. So she, Miles Red, ordered, "Let them eat cake. Why should only royalty eat cake?" See how Marie Antoinette had been misunderstood, and they chopped off her head too, and she wasn't even guilty of what they were trying to tell the people she was guilty of, being cold-hearted toward the people, when she just wanted the people to have more food, sweet food. Mrs. Morgenstern, the violin teacher, became like a substitute mother to the Michelle Birdsong, once acquainted with the habits of the upper class. Mrs. Morgenstern was acquainted with the habits of the upper class. She had gotten her daughter, Renata, into Brearley, the most exclusive private school in the most exclusive area of the United States, Manhattan, New York. Caroline Kennedy, oldest child of John Fitzgerald Kennedy and of American of French influence Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy, the President and First Lady of the United States' daughter, was Caroline Kennedy, who attended Brearley. JFK came from wealth. He had attended Harvard, the most prestigious university in the minds of Americans. Jackie Kennedy also came from a wealthy family. She had attended super exclusive all-girls school, Vassar. This good-looking, well-educated, high-class family made Americans just as proud of their Einstein White House occupants. Einstein, when he was a girl, had been married to 6 U.S. presidents. That's why they say Einstein's White House. Martha Washington, Dolly Madison, John Adams' wife, Thomas Jefferson's wife, Ulysses S. Grant's wife. Who did I miss? James Madison's wife. 6 presidents she was married to. So the White House during the time of JFK and Jackie Kennedy were dubbed Camelot. Camelot was a mythical decoded. My true herstory, Isaac's pleasure, see Adam's will. It is Adam's will that Eve tell her side of the story. I never knew that before. So Camelot was a mythical castled city. Castles decoded. See as Saint True Will Eve led. See as saint, true will led we, Eve. The will that led Eve was Charan Singh, Jesus Christ, projection of Adam, Michael Bublé. So Adam was leading Eve to tell her story, her side of the story of not just his story. Okay, Eve was Einstein, Evangeline, the Michelle, Birdsong, Marie Antoinette, mother of Sing Birdsong, who was King Arthur, and mother of Robin Birdsong. Camelot was a mythical, myths are often truths, castle, city, said to be located in Great Britain, where King Arthur held court. Okay, let's do this decoding here. 21st century Jesus Christ, Gurinder Singh holds court at the Dera in the Punjab in India. Who else holds court? Sing Birdsong held court on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, New York City, until recently, when he moved to Victorville, California, to be near his father, who had a stroke. Camelot was the center, the kingdom of Logos, it looks like, and in Arthurian legend would become the location of the round table that held 150 knights. Ken Isaac's pleasure, great guests, hits, talk and share. I have spoken to 3 of King Arthur's knights here at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3, where I live these past 2 years in a single-room occupancy hotel. And the knights were Dizzy Gillespie, John Leibowitz, who's a guitar player. As Dizzy Gillespie, he was a jazz horn player. I spoke to St. Philip, who was one of the Knights of the Round Table, like John Leibowitz was a Knight of the Round Table. And St. Philip's name is Bill Leader at this time. And I spoke to William Hayes, who was my son in a past life, and also one of the Knights of King Arthur's Round Table, and also was Popeye, Olive Oil's husband, in a past life. Okay, here where I hold court in Chelsea. Chelsea is an affluent area of West London, but the Chelsea I live in is in New York City. But the original Chelsea that this place was probably named for was an area in London bounded to the south by the River Thames. Thames decoded. The heaven, Adam meets Eve soon. Okay, and then we go over here and it says, Adam, Michael Bublé has a hit song, Just Haven't Met You Yet. I-E-T. I told you it was extraterrestrial. And I told you it was energy transfer. Now, in this context, it's saying, I, Einstein, evangelize truth. Okay, they're true. Now, let's go back over here. I'm talking about Chelsea. The UK, United Kingdom Parliament is in Chelsea and Fulham. Robin's locations, where Robin Birdsong held court. Robin Birdsong was also Robin Hood in a past life. How are legends decoded? Will energy, good Eve energy, enter divine sun. Yes, I looked at the sun, and my energy went into him, and his energy went into me. He is my father, and I am his daughter-in-law. We usually just say daughter. Okay, Will Smith movie. Speaking of legends, I am legend. Will Smith is Adam and Eve's third son, Seth. And what a son. We're so proud of him. I saw him bungee jumping in the valley. What was the name? Not San Fernando Valley. It's another one. Grand Canyon, in the Grand Canyon. That's why he was bungee jumping. Can you imagine? From a helicopter. My son is so brave. He was bicycling in NoHo. He came to the homeless shelter where I was staying at a week before I got there, and they had pictures of him with the girls. He was so nice. He was filming across the street, and he came over to take pictures with the homeless women. Oh, it makes me teary. I get so emotional. Think what a sweetheart Will Smith is. A lot of people love him, not just me, his mother. Okay. He was St. Thomas Aquinas. He was Thomas, Jesus Christ's disciple as well. He was John Hancock, one of the founders of the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution, I think. How are the legends of Robin Hood and King Arthur connected? By Stephen Brownfield. Birdsong, Robin Hood, 21st century, is brown and a girl. That's talking about her skin color. Over here, connected, Quora. It's a site where people answer questions. Queen, Q-U for Queen, Eve, O-R for Or, Adam's history to be believed. Queen Eve or Adam's history to be believed. Queen Eve's herstory or Adam's history to be believed. The King Arthur legends are far older than those of Robin Hood. King Arthur will sing Birdsong. Projection of Charon Singh, who projected himself as 6-year-old Calvin Lewis, who is Michael Bublé, who is Adam. Song lines, you're mine, and you're mine, and we belong together. Yes, we belong together for eternity. Little Calvin Lewis told Minnow, sounds like a minnow. Eve, the Michelle Birdsong and Mildred Songbird, Calvin's 10-year-old babysitter. He told her that he was going to marry her. She said, talk and share, that's not possible. I'm older than you. She was 4 years older than him. Now, I'm about 45 years older than Michael Bublé. This Adam and Eve. I'm Eve, he's Adam. Song, my love is a kind of blind love. My love is a kind of blind love. I can't see anyone but you. Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for you. Ooh. That's the Flamingos. That's the doo-wop group. I love that song. I thought it was magical. So the creator, the supreme star, the sun, told me, the Michelle Birdsong, that I'm his star. He did tell me that. It's true. And it says heaven, his decoded, heaven Isaacs is super. See the S, small s, big S, superstar. Said Adam's, her, Venus, the evening star. The Michelle Birdsong was also Venus, the evening star. Eve, C-V-E-E-V, V-E-V-O, Vivo, in us, U.S. Us is Adam and Eve. U.S. is America. Lines from song, Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for you. I owe you only. The sun, take song and decode it. S-O-N for sun. G for Govinda Singh. Govinda Singh is the son of the sun. S-U-N. Head singer of Flamingos doo-wop group is Govinda Singh. He's a rock star. There's so many famous rock stars. You can't believe any one man could be so talented. One soul. Elements, talk and share of Arthurian legend, King Arthur legend, predate Christianity by many centuries. King Arthur, sing Birdsong. King Arthur's knights here at the place. I, Queen Elizabeth I, Virgin Queen of England, at St. Francis of Assisi. It was Robin Birdsong, St. Francis Residence 3. Okay, Queen of England was Marilyn Monroe's home. Perhaps temporarily is inside me. The Michelle Birdsong. I'm saying Jesus Christ is inside me. Sharon sing. Okay, that's all I'll talk about for now. I'll do part 2. Isn't this interesting? I'm connecting all these dots. If I wouldn't have an academic memory, is that how you call it? As Einstein, I wouldn't be able to do this because you have to, and that goes there, and this go here, and that go Lego my ego. Stop eating eggs. It's disgusting. I said to this one guy, is the sunny side up egg sperm? And he said, oh my God, I'll never be able to eat eggs again. Okay, it's my red songbird in New York City. I'll be back on the next video. So long.